Christmas is upon us in a few weeks, and with that comes your traditional run of Family Guy episodes that are really great, leading from the Thanksgiving episode to the Christmas episode, and so surely this episode is going to be good, right? Right? Yep, so indeed this was mostly a mega episode, but you know what? It wasn't that bad. In fact, I'd go as far to say it is one of my favourite episodes of the season so far. Although, it's not terribly hard considering most of this season has been pretty much constantly breaking the fourth wall and Brian moving out to his own apartment.
We're concerned that many of you Family Guy fans under 40 didn't get that reference, so I'm going to take you through the actual commercial.
The general story arc going into this episode is that Meg is once again in her senior year, and originally Peter is trying to persuade Meg to go to the party because Lois and him want the couch to watch a movie or something, and so Meg goes to this party and discovers something, but we'll get onto that in a little bit. There's also a second story arc going on in the episode in classic Family Guy fashion. There's always two stories going on and then they both tend to get linked together at the end. So you remember when I said earlier that Brian moving out is one of the main themes of this season? Well, yeah, that's still a thing. He begins to creep on his neighbours across the street, and eventually him and Stewie discover something interesting about Principal Shepherd, but we'll save that for a little bit later. This episode started off with this segment which established Meg is still a senior in high school even though she's had numerous birthdays in the show. It's classic inconsistent storytelling with Family Guy. Like, I get it, it's a cartoon, I understand that. But deaths like Diane Simmons and Muriel Goldman clearly established the principle of cause and effect in reality, and you know, just general time moving on, but Meg has been stuck in high school this entire time with multiple birthdays. Time is clearly progressing because Brian has moved out as well. Maybe I'm asking too much of this show, maybe consistency is too much, I don't know.
Somebody must be having a party or something?
Well, there's one, but I wasn't invited.
Keeping up with the Meg is lame thing. Hey, at least that's consistent and hasn't been ran into the ground or anything.
No, not you!
Oh, sorry.
In fact, everyone but you! Hi, everyone but him! Hi!
Alright, I laughed at that. Brian is creeping on people, Quagmire is still being Quagmire. I mean, it's funny, but at this point it's just a smirk, you know, because who else but Quagmire?
Who else but Quagmire?
He's Quagmire, Quagmire. You never really know what he's gonna do.
Dog backward.
Come on, Brian.
Don't comment or like it. It's a hard lesson, but one he has to learn.
Perhaps with all this breaking the fourth wall they've been doing lately, they should acknowledge how far this show has fallen, or perhaps I will do that in a future video. The girls arrive at the party. For some reason everyone stops to look at them and then continues to dance. I don't know if the writers of this show have got the message across yet, but they're lame teenage girls who are unpopular. You remember the episode on Halloween where they tried to get laid and Meg ended up making out with Chris? We acknowledge how lame they were back then. We get it. From now on and in the foreseeable future, I'm just going to refer to Meg his lame jokes as funny, lamey, or something, so I don't have to repeat this point over and over again.
Hey, you guys talking Big Bang over here? Big Bang Theory? No? Any bangers over here? No?
The Big Bang Theory. A show full of hilarious moments, and bazingering, and knock 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 penny.
Wow, Meg's so good at casually tossing bottles over her shoulder so they land upright.
And that's very popular right now because we've run out of things on Earth.
I'm gonna translate what he just said. It's not that the teens have run out of things to trend about, it's that the writers of this show have run out of topics for episodes. I mean seriously, a Meg episode about bottle flipping and drinking, and 4 minutes in we've already established principles that are incredibly tedious at this point. Now I know it sounds like I'm completely trashing this episode so far, I'm really not trying to, I enjoyed the episode as a whole. It's just some parts are so ridiculously stupid.
Oh, yes. Who else but Quagmire?
He's Quagmire.
Hang on. Hey, keep it down, you screwballs. Here, let me just go somewhere a little quieter.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm the screwball. You and your friends say screwball a lot.
And yet again, Stewie is the main reason I still watch this show. I don't think I will ever get tired of the Stewie and Brian dynamic.
I got in trouble for saying something insensitive to trans kids.
What'd you say?
Well, a few of them started this a cappella group, and they're all kind of chubby. So I said, you guys should call yourselves the Trans Fats.
Alright, okay, I like this episode. Peter and Lois begin to be concerned with Meg's drinking, and Meg claims she's just having fun and she's finally known as something other than the girl who put the lunch lady in a headlock. I don't really know where that came from, but...
Son of a bitch! What was that?
I don't know. Someone must have messed something up.
Peter and Lois fall from the upside down living room and then we get an obscure cutaway.
Like the flush of a high-powered toilet.
Lame Joe is still lame about things to Brian especially, but how can you hate Joe? He's pretty entertaining most times and he's been a pretty consistently great character throughout the entire thing. And plus, the Brian-Joe dynamic is consistent, which is nice. I'm starting to notice that this entire episode is completely about consistency and inconsistency. It's not, I'm trying to review the episode as well, but you know, that's kind of one of the things that stood out to me in this episode is that some parts are consistent and some parts are really inconsistent. Like I said, I get it's a cartoon, it doesn't have to be completely consistent. But also, there needs to be some sort of logic.
Hey, are you peeing?
No.
Are you pooping?
I'm just trying to enjoy the day. Why don't you go bother that guy?
Summer's blown by, huh?
This was a weird cutaway, but I laughed. In the next scene, Peter is reminiscing about the times when he went to parties. Peter and Meg are getting along and stuff, and then they stumble upon the Drunken Clam in which they get drinks, and there's an awesome sequence where they get hammered across this country, and we get a nice little Indiana Jones reference in between. I always enjoy when Family Guy makes references to Indiana Jones or Star Wars.
Stewie, no, don't!
Stewie can do no wrong. None at all. Principal Shepard comes back and Brian attempts to get his attention but fails tragically. We have this weird but entertaining, I guess, scene that establishes Shepard as a guy that gets stuff to dolls. It's kind of just thrown in there weirdly as some sort of, I guess, edgy joke. And then he realizes what's been going on and finds Brian across the street and we get this awesome moment.
We're doing?
I say awesome because it scared the living F out of me. Sorry, don't demonetize me. Peter and Meg wake up from the bender last night with a hangover in the middle of friggin' nowhere, which is pretty funny to be fair. And Peter explains what's going on with Meg being that she has a hangover. It's a pretty sweet segment and it's nice to see that they're continuing the general story arc that Peter, over time, has started to respect Meg as a daughter instead of, you know, just the, you're a fart smeller, Meg, or, you know, she's just not the butt of all jokes anymore, like she was in the early episodes. Okay, so from everything I know from media studies, this low angle shot of the principal communicates he is powerful. Stewie then hits him from behind, he continues to walk, Stewie hits him again, and Brian goes flying out the window, and then...
How did I get here? Well, to answer that, you'd have to go back a little while.
We're not doing that!
Then it turns out in a plot twist that his wife is banging his cousin, has moved out, this cop has tummy cancer, and it's just a bunch of cans of soup in the bag. And the plot thickens. Pun intended. So we got Joe's under-eyes joke again, a sweet Meg and Peter moment, then coincidentally, in Family Guy fashion because the episode is ending, a helicopter appears out of nowhere and it's none other than Chris O'Donnell in the seat because he was name dropped earlier by Peter. Honestly thought it was just a throwaway cutaway, but I guess it linked back in, which is nice. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea who Chris O'Donnell is off the top of my head, but sure, why not have him in there? I mean, pretty much the general kind of thing of Family Guy lately is we're either edgy, random, or we break the fourth wall. Welcome to Family Guy Season 16. Then we have this weird scene.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Annie, are you okay? So, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
What happened to her?
She was struck by a smooth criminal.
Lois says that Brian can finally come home because he saved the school $206 on food. You know, the same food that was in the bag. I suppose that's supposed to be funny, I don't know. Then it ends with this scene.
What happened? A fair question. And to answer it, we have to go back a ways.
Stop doing that thing!
Aw.
Who else but Family Guy? Bazinga! Bazinga! So thank you for watching that video. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to leave a like rating on it. I spent quite a while planning this and scripting it and all that kind of thing and animating the video, so any feedback is appreciated as always, and let me know, what did you think of this episode? Comments below. Yep, so indeed this was mostly a mega episode, but you know what, it wasn't that bad. In fact, I'd go far as to say it was one of my favourite episodes of the season, yep, so indeed, this was mostly a mega episode. Yep, so indeed this was mostly a mega episode, but you know what, it wasn't that bad. In fact, I'd go far, yep, so indeed this was a mega episode, but you know what, yep, so indeed, yep, so indeed this was mostly a mega episode. Oh my god, I can't speak. Yep, so indeed, I can't say it.